Greetings, brave souls, and welcome back to Tales of Terror. Today, we're diving deep into the chilling lore of the Wendigo, a fearsome entity whispered about in Native American tales. Are you ready to delve into the bone-chilling tale of the Wendigo? There's no turning back now. The Wendigo, a creature as old as the whispering winds of the North American forests. Emerging from the depths of Native American lore, the Wendigo is a chilling embodiment of glacial, cold and insatiable hunger. This creature's legend has been passed down generations, a haunting tale whispered around the fire, a cautionary story of greed and excess. Born from the harsh winters and the struggle for survival, the Wendigo is said to be the twisted result of a human succumbing to their primal hunger. A person lost and desperate in the snow-laden forests, driven to the unthinkable act of cannibalism, is cursed to transform into this monstrous entity. Their humanity is stripped away, replaced by a monstrous form, skeletal and gaunt, with skin as pale as the very snow they wander. The Wendigo is not merely a physical terror, it is a psychological spectre, representing the dark corners of human nature where survival instincts overpower moral constraints. It is a stark reminder of the thin line that separates man from beast, civilization from wilderness, and life from death. Possessing supernatural strength and speed, the Wendigo is an unstoppable force, a relentless hunter. Its eyes, hollow and glowing with an unnatural light, are said to freeze the bravest souls with terror. Yet the most chilling aspect of the Wendigo is its ceaseless hunger, a gnawing emptiness that can never be filled. It roams the frozen forests, its mournful cry echoing through the silent night, a haunting testament to its eternal torment. Despite its terrifying presence, the Wendigo is also a symbol of balance and respect for nature. The Native American tribes who first spun its tale used it as a warning against greed and disrespect for the natural order. To them, the Wendigo is a grim reminder that taking more than one's share has dire consequences. And so, our story begins under the pale moonlight in a small, secluded village. In the heart of the forest, nestled between the arms of ancient trees, lied a small, peaceful village. Serenity and simplicity were the village's true charms. The villagers were humble folks, living off the land and sharing stories by the flickering firelight. The children's laughter would echo through the woods, and the elders would share wisdom under the starlit sky. But that tranquility was soon to be disrupted. A chill wind began to blow from the north, bringing with it a sense of unease. The villagers, usually so content, found themselves looking over their shoulders, their eyes reflecting a growing fear. The laughter of children was now replaced with hushed whispers, and the elders spoke in low, worried tones. The forest, once a source of livelihood and joy, started to seem hostile. The trees cast long, foreboding shadows, and the animals fell silent, as if they too sensed the unease. The villagers began to notice odd occurrences, livestock disappearing, strange noises in the night, and cold spots that seemed to move of their own accord. The village blacksmith, a burly man who was not easily frightened, swore he saw a figure moving in the woods. It was tall, he said, taller than any man, and it moved with an unnatural speed. The village elder, a woman of vast wisdom and courage, felt a cold dread she had not felt before. The once harmonious village was now a place of hushed voices and fearful glances. Uncertainty crept into the hearts of the villagers. They huddled closer together, their fires burning brighter against the encroaching darkness. The air was thick with tension, the silence broken only by the eerie howl of the wind. Despite their best efforts to carry on as normal, the villagers could not shake off the creeping sense of dread that something was terribly wrong. As the nights grew colder, the village's fears took a form of a monstrous creature, the Wendigo. Indeed, as the villagers huddled in their homes, shivering from the biting chill and the dread wrapping their hearts, they would come face to face with the embodiment of their terror. The first encounter with the Wendigo is a tale etched in the annals of the village's history, a story whispered in hushed tones on particularly frosty nights. It was on a night much like this one, when the wind howled like a wounded animal, and the moon hid behind thick, ominous clouds, that the creature made its presence known. The Wendigo, as the villagers would come to know it, was not just a creature. It was a nightmare given form, a beast born from the coldest, darkest recesses of fear. It stood towering over the tallest trees, its silhouette a grotesque mockery of a man. Its eyes, two glowing orbs of icy blue, seemed to pierce the very soul. Its antlered head crowned with a set of sharp, twisted horns that gleamed in the faint moonlight, adding to its terrifying visage. Its arrival was not silent. No, it was heralded by the screams of the wind, the rustling of the trees, and the chilling howls that echoed through the night. The Wendigo, in its wake, brought with it destruction and chaos. Homes were torn asunder, livestock scattered, and the once peaceful village was thrust into a state of panic. The villagers could only watch in sheer terror as the monstrous Wendigo wreaked havoc upon their home, their safe haven. The beast seemed to relish in the fear it instilled, its haunting howls echoing long after it had disappeared back into the obscurity of the forest. And thus the village's worst fears had come to life. The Wendigo was not just a tale told to scare children or a legend whispered amongst the elders. It was real, it was here, and it was hungry. The terror of the Wendigo had just begun. Amidst the icy terror, the villagers knew they had to fight for their survival. The village, once a place of warmth and camaraderie, now stood as a fortress against the unthinkable. The Wendigo, a creature of legend, had become terrifyingly real. Its howls echoed through the night, a chilling reminder of the battle that lay ahead. Each villager, no matter how young or old, took up arms. They forged weapons out of what they could find, farming tools, kitchen utensils, even the children's playthings. They gathered at the village square, their faces etched with determination. The firelight flickered in their eyes, reflecting both fear and courage. Their homes, their families, their very lives were at stake. From the eldest wise woman to the youngest child, they prepared for the unknown. They fortified their homes, barricaded the streets, and set traps throughout the village. The blacksmith, a giant of a man, fueled the fires, forging weapons of iron and steel. The village elder, his voice steady and soothing, led them in chants and prayers, beseeching the spirits for protection and strength. The villagers, once simple folk leading peaceful lives, had become warriors. The women, their hands more accustomed to weaving cloth and kneading dough, now clutched weapons, their knuckles white with tension. The men, who once toiled in the fields and forests, stood tall and resolute, their muscles coiled and ready for battle. The children, their innocence lost, held their makeshift weapons with a grim determination beyond their years. As the moon rose high, casting long, eerie shadows, the villagers steeled themselves for the battle to come. The night was eerily silent, save for the crackling of fires and the whispered prayers of the villagers. The air was thick with anticipation, the tension palpable. Then a low growl echoed through the night, sending shivers down their spines. The Wendigo was near. Despite the terror gripping their hearts, the villagers stood their ground. They brandished their weapons, their faces set in grim determination. The howls of the Wendigo grew louder, closer, yet they did not falter. They would fight, they would protect their village, their families, their lives. They were no longer just villagers. They were warriors, they were defenders, they were survivors. The howls grew louder, the ground trembled beneath their feet. The Wendigo was upon them. With a mighty roar, the villagers charged, meeting the beast head on. The air was filled with the sounds of battle, the clash of weapons, the screams of the villagers, the roars of the Wendigo. The villagers fought fiercely, their desperation lending them strength. They fought for their homes, their families, their lives. They fought against the terror that had descended upon their village. They fought against the Wendigo. But would their efforts be enough to ward off such a formidable beast? As the final confrontation loomed, the villagers stood their ground, their hearts filled with courage and despair. The stage was set for a showdown that would determine the fate of the village, and perhaps the world beyond. They were ordinary souls, these villagers, but they were driven by an extraordinary spirit of survival. The air was thick with tension as the dreaded Wendigo approached. Its haunting cry echoed through the silent night, a bone-chilling reminder of the terror that lay ahead. This was no ordinary beast. It was a legendary creature of nightmares. its hunger insatiable, its power immense. The villagers, armed with mere farming tools and their courage, stood ready to face the abomination. Among them, a young woman named Ilara, a brave soul who had lost too much to the Wendigo's reign of terror. It was her determination that led the villagers to this final stand. Her spirit, her resolve, became their rallying cry. The battle began with a deafening roar from the Wendigo, a sound that shook the earth beneath their feet. The villagers responded with a collective cry of defiance, their voices rising above the wind, their determination unwavering. They charged, their crude weapons clashing against the Wendigo's hide, their hearts pounding with adrenaline and fear. The fight was brutal, the villagers falling one by one to the Wendigo's wrath. But for each villager who fell, another stepped forward, their resolve hardened by the sacrifices of their brethren. Ilara, her heart heavy with grief, but her spirit unbroken, led the charge, her weapon finding its mark on the Wendigo time and again. As the night wore on, the villagers' numbers dwindled. The Wendigo, however, showed signs of weakening. Its movements were slower, its roars less powerful. The villagers, despite their losses, saw a glimmer of hope. It was then that Ilara, summoning every ounce of her strength, delivered a final blow to the Wendigo, sending it crashing to the ground. The village fell silent, the only sound the ragged breaths of the survivors. As the first rays of dawn broke through the night, the villagers saw the lifeless form of the Wendigo, its reign of terror finally over. Their losses were great, the pain of their sacrifices immense, but they had survived. They had faced the Wendigo and emerged victorious. Ilara, her body weary but her spirit triumphant, stood amidst her people, their leader, their hero. She had led them through the darkness, and now she would lead them towards the light. The Wendigo had taken much from them, but it had also given them something, a newfound strength, a spirit of unity, and a tale of courage that would echo through generations. And so the tale of the Wendigo ends, leaving behind a chilling echo. The villagers had faced their darkest fears, and in doing so had found their greatest strength. Their story serves as a reminder that even in the face of insurmountable odds, the human spirit can endure, can triumph. It is a tale of terror, yes, but also a tale of courage, resilience, and the indomitable will to survive. Every tale, no matter how terrifying, carries a lesson within its shadows. In the heart of this nightmarish tale, we've glimpsed the formidable Wendigo, a creature of unthinkable horror. Yet the real story lies not in the beast itself. No, my friends, it is found in the resilience and unity of the villagers who faced it. In each of us, there exists an unyielding spirit, a force capable of confronting and overcoming even the most dreadful of adversaries. Our story today serves as a testament to the strength of this human spirit. The villagers, ordinary men and women, found the courage within themselves to stand up against a creature that was, by all accounts, a living nightmare. It is this strength, this unity, that is the true hero of our tale. The Wendigo, for all its terror, was ultimately defeated not by a single hero, but by a community united in their determination to survive. The villagers, in standing together, discovered a force more potent than the Wendigo's might. The power of unity. In the face of adversity, when the wind howls with the voice of our deepest fears, it is easy to feel alone, to feel helpless. But remember, we are never truly alone. Just as the villagers found strength in each other, so too can we find strength in those around us. The power of unity, the power of community, is one that can conquer even the most monstrous of foes. This tale, though steeped in horror, serves as a stark reminder of the strength we possess when we stand together. Whether facing a Wendigo in a snow-laden forest or a challenge in our everyday lives, we are stronger together. We are mightier when united. Even in the darkest of times, when all hope seems lost, remember the tale of the Wendigo. Remember the villagers who stood tall, who stood together, and overcame the beast. Remember the strength of unity, the power of community, and know in your heart of hearts that no challenge is insurmountable when we face it together. As we part ways for now, let's carry with us the lessons of this tale. Let's remember the strength of the human spirit and the power of unity. Let's remember that even in the face of a Wendigo, we are capable of greatness. Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey. Remember to like, subscribe and brace yourselves for more tales of terror.